Hello students. So in the previous class we have discussed regarding the phylum Porifera and what are the general characteristic features of phylum Porifera in detail we have already studied. So next we'll move on to the another phylum, that is the phylum Coelenterata. Phylum Coelenterata, it is also known as Cnidaria. Fine. Cnidaria, why it is known as Cnidaria and what are its importance, we'll discuss it later. But before that, in this phylum, what are the important characteristic features we'll discuss, we'll see now one by one. Phylum Coelenterata. So generally in this phylum, so far nearly 10,000 species has been known in this phylum. And coelenterates, they are aquatic in nature. Again, in aquatic, you already know that either they may be freshwater or they may be the marine water, right? But here, coelenterates, the majority of them are marine. Majority of them are marine and few are freshwater form. Okay. So next comes the grade of organization. So what type of grade organization does coelenterate exhibits? So you already know that how many different types of grade of organization in detail we have already studied, right? So here coelenterates, they will exhibit tissue grade of organization. They exhibit tissue grade of organization, and keep in mind these are the first multicellular animals to exhibit the tissue grade of organization. Okay. So again here, they are made up of 4 different types of tissues. Okay, one is epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Okay, these are the 4 different types of tissues. In detail, the structure function will be studying in the next chapter. But here, just you have to remember that Coelenterata is the first phylum which is made up of 4 different types of tissues. One is epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and the nervous tissue. Okay. So which grade of organization does the coelenterates exhibit? They exhibit tissue grade of organization. Okay. Next comes the symmetry. So again here in the symmetry, coelenterates they exhibit radial symmetry. What type of symmetry they exhibit? They show radial symmetry. They are radial symmetrical animals. Means the body can be divided into equal halves on the radial axis, or on any plane the body can be divided into equal parts. Okay. So next comes the body wall. So again here coelenterates, they are diploblastic animals. So you already know that what do you mean by diploblastic? They are made up of 2 layers. Outer is ectoderm, inner endoderm. Okay, but here in case of coelenterates, between these 2 layers, it is made up of jelly layer which is known as mesoglea. Okay, so coelenterates, they are diploblastic animals. So diploblastic, you already know that they are made up of 2 germ layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So between these 2 layers, it is made up of mesoglea. Fine. So next comes the exoskeleton. So what type of exoskeleton does the coelenterates are made up of? So generally some coelenterates like corals and all, they have this skeleton system which is composed of the calcium carbonate. Okay. Calcareous, generally it is made up of calcium carbonate. Next, another important characteristic features of coelenterate is that they are made up of special cells. Generally, they are having made up of special cells which are known as cnidoblast or cnidocytes. Cnidoblast or the cnidocytes, they are present on the tentacles and the body. Okay, so generally what is the major function of this cnidoblast is that they generally helps, they are used for the anchorage and the defense and the capturing of the prey. Anchorage, defense and the capturing of the prey. Because of the presence of this cnidoblast or the stinging cells, so generally the term the coelenterates, they are also known as the cnidaria. Okay, this is the characteristic features of the coelenterates. So these are some of the characteristic features. Just we'll have a glance first. So first and foremost, what type of grade of organization that coelenterate exhibit? They exhibit the tissue grade of organization, And keep in mind, these are the first multicellular animals which are made up of 4 different types of tissues. One is epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue and the nervous tissue. Okay. Then what about the symmetry? Symmetry, they exhibit the radial symmetry. Then body wall, they are the diploblastic animals with 2 layers. That is, the outer is ectoderm and inner is the endoderm, and between these 2 layers the non-jelly layer is present, which is known as the mesoglia. Next comes the exoskeleton. So again here exoskeleton, they are made up of calcium carbonate. Then special, that is a characteristic feature of this special characteristic, they are made up of cells which are known as nidoblasts or the nudocytes. And what is the function of this nidoblasts is that generally they help for anchorage, defense and for the capturing of the prey. Okay. Okay. So next we'll see the remaining characters of phylum Coelenterata. So next comes the coelom. So again, coelom, the coelenterates generally. In case of coelenterates, the endoderm of coelenterates, it encloses the cavity which is known as coelenteron. It is known as a coelenteron, right? So again, what is its function? So we'll see in the next part here. So next comes the digestion. So digestion, it is mainly extracellular. Digestion is extracellular. So you already know what is the difference between the extracellular and the intracellular. Where does it take place? In detail, we already studied. Fine. So here, in case of coelentrates, the digestion is extracellular and it takes place in the gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity. And it is and in some animals it also takes place by intracellular method. Both the digestion it takes place both intracellular as well as the extracellular as gastrovascular cavity. Fine. So next, here you have to see that in case of coelentrates, the mouth is always surrounded by the thread-like structure, that is the hollow or the solid thread-like structures, which is commonly known as the tentacles. What they are known as tentacles. Okay, this you have to remember the presence of the tentacles in the mouth region, which is commonly known as hypostoma. Okay. So next here, in case of coelentrates, respiratory system, excretory system and the circulatory system are not yet developed. Fine. So then what about the nervous system? Nervous system, it is primitive. It's not well developed. It is primitive and it is consisting of diffused network of nerve cells. It is made up of diffused network of nerve cells. It is a primitive method. It is a primitive type of nervous system where the present in case of the coelentrates. Next comes the reproduction. So how does the coelentrates will reproduce? So you already know that uh, it exhibits by both the method, sexually as well as sexually. Sexually by budding. A sexual type of reproduction will take place by budding, and sexual reproduction or sexually it takes place by the production of gametes. Sexually by budding and sexually by the production of the gametes. Right. Then what about the development? So again here coelentrate, the development is again indirect and it includes the larva stage, and the larva is known as planula. Okay, it is indirected to the larva stage. So again here what is the important significant characteristics of the coelentrata is the alteration of generation. Means they exhibit the alteration of the generation. So what do you mean by alteration of the generation? Alteration of generation is asexual generation will alters with sexual generation. Sexual generation will alters with the sexual generation, or we can also call it as the metagenesis or the alteration of the generation. Fine. So these are some of the characteristic features, just a glance. In case of coelom or the cavity, generally the coelentrates, they include the cavity which is known as coelenteron. And digestion it is both by intracellular as well as the extracellular. And in extracellular it takes place by the gastrovascular cavity. Again the mouth, it is surrounded by the thread-like structures which is known as the tentacles. And the respiratory system, excretory system and the circulatory system is not that developed, but nervous system here, it is consists of diffused network of nerve cells. Then reproduction it takes place by both the method, sexually by budding and sexually by the production of the gametes, and the development is indirect, it takes place by larva stage which is known as planula. Then another important characteristic feature is that it exhibits the alteration of generation. So you have to know what do you mean by alteration of generation, or it is also known as the metagenesis. Means here all sexual generation will alters with the sexual generation. This will have a glance over this once again. Okay. So what do you mean by alteration of generation? Just we have already discussed. So once again now we'll have a glance. So alteration of generation means sexual generation will get altered with the sexual generation. So generally here we come across two forms. So one is polyps and another one is the medusa. Okay. So alteration of generation. So look here. So generally here polyps will produce medusa by asexual method. Polyps will reproduce medusa by asexually, and medusa will reproduce polyps by sexual method. Okay, so in this way both the methods, that is asexual will get altered with the sexual and the sexual will get altered with the asexual. Fine. So this we commonly call it as the alteration of generation or the metagenesis. So this is one of the important feature, that is the alteration of generation or the metagenesis, which is exhibited by the phylum Coelenterata. Hope it is clear. Alteration of generation. Alteration of generation generally it exhibits two forms. The polyps will produce medusa by asexual method and the medusa will produce polyps by sexual method. Fine. So some of the examples for coelentrates are Hydra, Aurelia or the jellyfish, Obelia, Phycelia and the Gorgonia. So these are the some of the examples. Just at least one example you have to keep in mind. Then these are the characteristic features of the phylum. Then apart from this, let us discuss what are the classifications. As I have already told you that classification is not mentioned in your NCERT. Right, it is not mentioned in your NCERT, but it is there in your Moscow. Just at least you have to keep in mind the classes name and the examples. Fine. So again here coelenterate generally it is classified into three classes. So one is Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and the Anthozoa. Okay. So what are the examples? So class 1 comes the Hydrozoa. So again here Hydrozoa, the example is the Hydra. Just remember the class and the examples. Okay. So class 1 is the Hydrozoa, example is the Hydra, and the class 2 is the Scyphozoa, example is the Aurelia or the jellyfish, and the third is the Anthozoa, example is the Admesia. Fine. So these are the three classes of the phylum Coelenterata. Is it clear?